like you caught me in my cucumber eating time. Let me specify that this is probably a very informal documentary. So I will try to treat it informally or revolutionary, if that's what you care to call it. However, the subject of today's issue, I could say, is probably relevant to me. As you can tell, I'm the only one here. Hey, how you doing? Let me start. Sorry. Let me start off with the basics. My name is Ezra Scott Flores. I am 18 years of age. My favorite color is green. I like long walks on the beach. My favorite pets are rabbits, hamsters. My favorite animals are dinosaurs. And I have a strong, not affiliation, but interest in the Vietnam War. So, I've deemed it appropriate to name this documentary Rabbits, Dinosaurs, and the Vietnam War. Because the more I look at it, or think about it, these things really do make me, for the most part. And let me get into that. Let's start off with probably my favorite thing ever in the history of ever. That's dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. My love for dinosaurs began when I was around 2 years old. I have a black cousin, yes, I have a black cousin named Benny. Benjamin. That's his full name, but we call him Benny. And he loved dinosaurs. So when I was like a little 2-year-old toddler, he was like 5 or something. And he'd be playing with his dinosaur toys in the mud. And I'd come out and be like, whoa, what's this? I want to play. So, I'd play with his toys. We'd play together. And he taught me. This is what happens when you live next to a fire station. Nothing but these assholes have no sense of respect. They should really turn down their sirens when someone's trying to work here. But, let them be. Someone's probably dying. So what I'm getting at is, what was that? Cousin Benny and his dinosaur toys. He taught me about dinosaurs. But thing is, I don't remember that, so I don't call that my entrance into dinosaurs. My mother said that's how it happened, but that's not what I remember, so I call it something different. And that was Jurassic Park, the movie. When I was 3 years old, my father showed it to me. Flores, good man. Very short, dark, but I like him. He's like a cowboy. And that movie, like, blew my mind more than those antlers. Like, I realized this, I set this up to where I look like an antler god. So I love this shot of me right now. So, dinosaurs and Jurassic Park just blew my mind. Just, wow, giant reptiles that eat everything that they move. I kid you not, probably the first half of my life, which probably was around 9 years old, I walked around like this, with little dinosaur arms, because I wanted to be nothing more than a dinosaur. Because dinosaurs are the coolest goddamn thing ever. Because who doesn't like dinosaurs? Giant reptiles, sharp teeth, claws, green. I was infatuated with them. I could not get enough of them. And I did nothing but watch dinosaur movies, read dinosaur books, play dinosaur games. In fact, I created games in my school that, right, so second grade, and be me, and be in my school. And I created a game called Dinosaur, very original. And the point of it was basically I was a dinosaur, and I got to push down any kid I wanted, because I was a T-Rex, and I could do anything I wanted. And I did that, and I got in trouble many times, so I stopped playing dinosaur. But, holy shit, I look like a mad scientist right now. I apologize for my appearance. Like I said, it's cucumber time, and I just finished eating a watermelon, so I may not have the most professional faces.
gotta look photo friendly, don't I? So continuing with my story. So yeah, dinosaurs just they influence me in like every aspect of life. Even now, I still love them. I'm getting a tattoo of them in like a week or two, not like 2 weeks. Right here on my forearm. And I can't get enough of them. They're the coolest goddamn thing I've ever seen. And yeah, for for a long time I wanted to be a dinosaur. So I know this is gonna sound stupid, but when I was a kid, sorry if my teeth are yellow, but see those canines? Those aren't normal canines. I got them extra sharp. You wanna know why I got them extra sharp? Because I wanted to be a dinosaur. You wanna know how I got them extra sharp? I got a little piece of Lego when I was like a little kid, and I put it in between my tooth, and I bit it down for like a day, and I just shaved off the bone until it curved into like an edge. So because of that, I get a shitload of sores in my mouth because my canines are way too sharp than they have to be, and they're always cutting into my gum, and I'm always getting sores, and it hurts like hell. Which I shouldn't have never done that, but what are you gonna do? So now, dinosaurs are out of the way. Let's move on to the bigger thing. Not bigger, but the next topic, and that'll be Vietnam War. Vietnam War was, to me, always my grandfather's war. He fought in Vietnam in 1968, 1969, when it was getting really bad. Like, when it no longer was military advisors, it was send 100,000 soldiers there to, well, who knows God what, just to do something. Stop communism. Kick Karl Marxist in his rectum, basically. My grandpa hated the war, and it took him a long time to open up to me about it. But when he did, it was very, I don't want to say eye-opening because you already expect war to be horrible, but it was more or less kind of like, whoa, that's kind of, like that. So what he told me was that, well, I'm not sure if this was standard procedure, but in his squad, he said they gave everyone in his like company a tiny little one-shot pistol or a pill, and they were instructed to kill themselves with it if they got captured. But they would have done it either way because if you got captured by the VC, they were going to torture you or castrate you or do something god awful to you, and none of them wanted to live through that. So it'd be better to just die on your own terms, right? So basically, yeah, he was dealt like, alright, imagine going into a war zone and then be given a gun and tell yourself, if you get caught, kill yourself because the enemy will mess you up so badly that you won't want to live anymore. And that just in itself seems horribly detrimental and demoralizing to the entire war effort. And I guess you could explain why we lost, blah, 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 blah. What I'm getting at is, I always had an innate interest in Vietnam because my grandfather fought there. And some of the war stories he tells, I don't want to say were like cool, but they sound cool because, I mean, yeah, you're a kid and you hear, so I was lobbing grenades and I blew up, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, wow, you got to blow shit up. That's cool. And I guess that influenced me, well, yeah, it did, to like military stuff like tanks, jets, bombs, guns. I've always liked it. I don't know why. It's something I know is horribly violent, but I just think it's cool. Not saying I approve of it or I condone of violence or anything like that. However, I just think it looks really cool. Like, like you see a big tank strolling down, like blowing up a wall or something. That just registers as, holy crap, that's cool. And so with that knowledge, I guess, or that whole experience of it it just made all military stuff seem kind of interesting. Just like, that's something I want to look at because it looks cool. But I know it's not cool, and I know war is not something to joke around or be like, it's just like a video game, because it's not. It's horrible. It's bad, and people dying is bad for the most part. But I want to drop a parallel or a paradigm between Vietnam and dinosaurs. The one being they're both extremely violent. Because dinosaurs, teeth and claw, rip the flesh off your bone kind of thing. Vietnam, bayonet in the stomach, organs falling out, bombs dropping, children crying. And I guess that makes me seem like a very violent person. And in some aspects I am. However, I'm more diplomatic. I try to be, for the most part. But, you know, if you have to knock heads in, you're gonna have to do it. But I'd say this probably dinosaurs and the whole war stuff kind of made me more, how to put it, not morally deprived, but I guess more acceptable towards violence, because I saw it all and was exposed to it all at a very young age, when little boys shouldn't be watching Vietnam War in HD, watching guys getting blown up. I not blame my parents. We had like 6,000 channels. I'm going to find something to watch no matter what. It's impossible to monitor 6,000 channels, by the way. Like, even all the dirty triple X ones. That's how where babies came from. But let's not get into that. What I am getting into, my next topic here, is bunnies. And it may seem like bunnies are the complete polar opposite of dinosaurs and Vietnam. And in that case, you're right. Fluffy, fat, jolly little weasel things. Actually, they're related to horses for the most part. But let me put it this way. I find the reason why I like bunnies and hamsters so much is because they are so unlike anything I like. Like dinosaurs, rough, scaly skin, teeth, like steak knives, and eyes that can spot a baby in a handbasket a mile away, or war with tank and here's a little fluffy bunny with big cute eyes and floppy ears and bushy tail. And I think that's why I like it, because it's a fresh, new perspective, like into something cute. And I do. I love bunnies. They're amazing pets. They do their job. They entertain you. And if you know how to read them correctly, they can be very, not talkative, but social. For example, my pet rabbit right now, Craig Jorgensen, that's his full name. He is a big, fat bunny, but he's the kind of animal that his bark is worse than his bite, except he can't bark, so you kind of get where he is. He's a big wuss, and his thing is he hates meat. I'll walk in the room with like a sandwich or a hamburger, and I'll just be like, pretend this is a hamburger. And Craig will smell it, and he will freak out and get really pissed off. And what bunnies do when they're pissed off is they stomp on the floor like this. I don't know if you heard that, but that was me stomping on the floor. And when a bunny does that, that's them saying, I'm pissed off, screw you, I'm going home, basically. And Craig does that whenever there's meat around. And, no. Bunnies are like 13-year-old girls. They're hilarious. If they get mad, they give you the silent treatment. And what I mean by the silent treatment is they will literally turn their back to you and, like, not look at you. and that's them saying, "I'm mad at you." And it's really cute. It's like, oh, you're not looking at me. Oh, I'm just gonna pick you up, and then they bite me. But yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Dinosaurs, cool. Dinosaurs are cool, giant monsters with teeth and like, Vietnam or just any sort of military thing in general. It's like tanks, guns, jets. That was a jet, in case you couldn't tell. Not a gang sign. I'm not going west side on you. Or we got rabbits, which are fluffy, cute little horses. So yeah, that's it. Hope you liked it. And this cucumber lasts a long time. But I believe that is everything. So I bid you a farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Wait, no. Auf Wiedersehen? I'm trying to say German for goodbye. But I'm not good at German. So, good.